That snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We
you want one
can't,
quick question?
we can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey,
Charles. Well. He said they got us so high I could touch God. That's probably the only chance I get to see him. I'm going to HE double hockey sticks. Dong. I need a soundboard for times like this. Dong. We going back to this Charles Barkley comment. All right. All right.
These guys at the camp would smoke this stuff K2. And so they're like, just take one hit. I took a couple hits, like 2 or 3. And then next thing I know, I feel myself like overdosing. Like the last thing I remember, just falling out and crawling towards my tent. I was gone. And next thing I knew, I'm in a hallway. And in the hallway, there was demons on my left side and demons on my right side. They all had these like weird little robes. And I'm following one. And as I'm following it, we're walking up to this big door. And then it says to me, the one in front of me had its hood up and it said, one more step, you're almost there. And when it says that, it turns around and has this big smile. And it all clicked like what was going on. I said, oh, hell no. And I turned around. And when I turned around, I
No pun.
woke up and back on my tent. And I was just like soaking wet in sweat. These guys at the camp would smoke this stuff K2. And so they're like, just take.
Yeah, a friend gave me a certain drug, which I'd rather not talk about. I took the drug. I was impatient. I took the other 8 times the amount of L and L at the same time. Then I sometime in the middle of the night, I went to bed and fell asleep. And my spirit left my body again. And the next moment of consciousness, I'm standing in a pit in a lake of fire. The roar of the fire was deafening. If that wasn't going insane, if that wasn't bad enough, I looked across the pit and I seen a large demon, and I feel like he was assigned to me like he was like a pit boss. He was covered in fire flames, but it didn't consume him. At that moment, I said, I'm too late. And I screamed out in terror at the top of my lungs, Jesus. And the next thing I know, I'm in my bed, pop up, bewildered and out of my mind. Yeah, a friend gave me certain drugs.
Aaron used to show like, hell ain't no joke, bro. I seen one dude, he was talking about hell. And he said,
I've asked this of a.
And he was like, you crawling the whole time. It's uncomfortable. It's constant heat. It's hot on the ground. It's hot just all around. You hot. You could barely breathe. And you constantly just, doing stuff for Satan. You just constantly working for Satan. I say all this to say, bro, like, HE double hockey sticks ain't something to play about. It's not something to laugh about. It's not something to joke about. It's something very serious. It's something so real and so just insufferable. And I'll say it like this, man. Lecrae said it best, bro. Take this, right? Say we live our lives and we transition and we find out that there is no God. There is no Jesus Christ. And everything that Christians or believers, whoever you might believe, did was just all for a waste. Well, what did you do on earth? You lived a morally, hopefully you strive to live as moral of a good life as you could. You gave back. You lived in the ways of Christ, which a lot of times were just very charitable, giving it back, and very unselfish, right? Better for the entire world, spreading love to the entire world, right? Whether or not there's an actual God, living that way is a pretty good way of, I would say so. But who am I? I'm not the measurement of morality and everything like that. So say that's the case. Versus you live your entire life believing that it's not real, he's not real, and you die. Then what you got to deal with? You got to deal with all the stuff we just seen, crawling on all fours, and it's hot. People constantly at you. It's hot. You can't breathe. Man, ain't nobody gonna want to be out there. Man, if I'm Charles Barkley right now, man, I'm repenting. I'm making sure I'm getting right with God for these last few years. Because Charles is what? Charles got to be about close to 70, maybe. No, he not that, yo. Because if Jordan is 60, right? Charles is probably what? He's 62. There it is. 62. So there you have it, man. Yeah, Chuck, don't play around with that. That stuff is serious for sure. All right, next thing. Diddy might have to get skipped today, bro.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
George Shaw Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.